Welcome back to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get ready for game number 2 of our Frontier Conference doubleheader today between the home team Bellevue University Bruins, now 17-15 overall, 7-4 in the Frontier Conference, and the visiting Carroll College Fighting Saints out of Helena, Montana. The Fighting Saints on the short end of that 1-0 game number 1. They are now 8-11 overall and 3-6 in the Frontier Conference. The two head coaches, Michaela Cimino and Shauna Juarez, talking with the two-man umpire and crew right now, going over the ground rules once again as we're just moments away from game number 2's first pitch. Here's the starting lineup for game number 2 for the Carroll College Fighting Saints. Leading off and playing right field is Bryn Nuttbaum. Batting second and playing shortstop, Madison Walker. The three-hole hitter is the third baseman, Taylor Sayers. The cleanup hitter for the Fighting Saints, first baseman, Sammy Labrum. Batting fifth and playing left field is Brooke Thompson. Batting sixth, the designated player, is Carly Smith. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Ella Seaman. Batting eighth, the catcher, Taylin Pullert. And batting ninth and playing center field is Katie Slater. In the circle for the Saints in game number 2 is Kat Emmert. Here's the starting lineup for the home team, the Bellevue Bruins, in game number 2. Pretty similar to what we saw in game number 1. Leading off and playing right field is Mariah Unverzat. Batting second, the catcher, Marguerite Brown. Batting third for the Bruins, first baseman, Bree McMurtry. The cleanup hitter is the left fielder, Leslie Egan. Batting fifth and playing second base, Miranda Garcia. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Savannah Shorts. Batting seventh and playing shortstop is Emma Chrisman. Batting eighth, the designated player, Danny Rodriguez. And batting ninth and playing center field is Layla Fiskus. In the circle for the Bruins in game number 2 is Ellie Zuha. She will also be the flex player for the Bruins in this contest. Zuha, a junior left-handed pitcher. High school career played at Omaha Gross Catholic High School, just about a 10-minute drive from the Bellevue University campus. Zuha, one of the 6-person pitching crew for the Bruins. On the season, Ellie is 3 wins and 5 losses, a 4.76 earned run average. She's thrown 42 2/3 innings on the year, has allowed 58 hits, has struck out 41, that's best on the Bellevue team, and has walked only 9. Opposing batters hitting .315 on the year against her. Ellie Zuha. For Zuha, this will be her 16th appearance, her 11th start on the season, as we are ready for first pitch. Leading it off for the Carroll College Fighting Saints, right fielder Bryn Nuttbaum. Lefty-lefty matchup, first pitch, strike one called. 1-0 victory for the Bellevue Bruins in game number 1 today. 1 run on 1 hit for the Bruins, no runs on 4 hits for the Saints in that one. Swung on and missed at a breaking ball. 0-2 the count. As we saw in game number 1, thick clouds overhead. Temperature in the mid-40s. Winds out of the northwest at about 15 miles per hour, blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner. Zuha trying to clip that outside corner just a little bit wide. Bryn Nuttbaum, the batter. On the season, 302 coming into today's action. Now 2-2 the count. Nuttbaum was 0 for 3 in game number 1 today. Zuha looks in, gets her signal from Marguerite Brown, delivers another breaking ball. That's hit towards left field. Leslie Egan comes in a couple of steps, and she'll make the play for the first out of the game. Next up for the Saints, the shortstop, Madison Walker. Walker hit in the 6th spot in game number 1. She's moved up to the 2-hole in this one. First pitch. Looked pretty good from here, but my opinion doesn't count. Ball 1. On the first pitch to Walker. My wife says that to me all the time, too. That pitch on the outside edge, now 1-1. Jeremy Hugestra and Ron Jones are our two umpires today. Another pitch, kind of a slider motion. Again over the plate, now 1-2. And I apologize, I forgot to give our text message number in game number 1. Got caught up in the game. We'll give that to you here in just a little bit. Another pitch trying to hit that outside edge. 2-2 the count. Zuha looks to the wristwatch on her wrist for the next pitch coming from the bench. Another breaking ball. That one's fouled back to the net. Field turf, synthetic turf here at the new Renner Dennis Outdoor Athletic Complex. It's 200 feet down the right field line and the left field line. 220 to straightaway center field. Zuha rocks and delivers. That one's fouled off the net, carrying back onto the field of play. Obviously, the infield area you can see with the brown-colored field turf, shades of green out in the outfield. Just the second week. Deja vu, almost the exact same spot on the backstop. Second week of play at this new facility for the softball team. Baseball team also has their facility just to the west. And the soccer teams have their facility just to the west of that. Again, a foul ball. This one out of play in the mud along the right side. We had about an inch of rain overnight and this morning. We would not be playing on a natural field. More rain expected to come throughout this weekend. That one's flared down the right side. A couple of Bruins giving chase. Nice hustle by the Bellevue second baseman, Miranda Garcia, to make the play for the second out of the inning. So a fly ball to left, a fly ball to foul territory. That'll bring up the three-hole hitter, third baseman Taylor Sayers. Sayers had 2 hits, 2 of the 4 hits for the Saints in game number 1. She's moved up now to the 3 spot in this game number 2. Ellie Zuha with a strike on the first pitch. Sayers, a .298 hitter coming into today's action. She'll be over the 300 mark with those couple of knocks in game 1. Next pitch upstairs. Zuha has that kind of natural movement that comes in on the right-handed batter, so if it starts off the plate, it might hit that outside edge. Change-up. Great location ahead in the count, 1-2. Swing and a miss. The strikeout retires the side. A 3-up, 3-down top of the first inning for the Fighting Saints, as the Bruin pitcher and defense shuts down the Fighting Saints attack. The Bellevue Bruins coming into today's action hitting .340 on the season. The Fighting Saints hitting .312. Bruin pitchers a combined 3.38 earned run average, and the Fighting Saints 5.36. So the Bruins a little bit better statistically in both of those important categories. In the circle for Carroll College, number 2, Kat Emmert. Emmert, a 2-win, 1-loss record. 4.50 is her earned run average on the year. This is her 8th appearance, her 4th start. 18 2/3 innings thus far. 23 hits, 16 strikeouts, 17 strikeouts, and 16 walks. Opponents are hitting .299 on the year against right-hander Kat Emmert. All right, that sets the stage for the Bruins in the bottom of the first inning. Right fielder Mariah Unverzat will lead things off. Again, quickly, it's Unverzat, Brown, McMurtry, Egan, Garcia, Short, Chrisman, Rodriguez, and Fiscus, the 9 batters for the Bruins. That text message number, if you want to be on our broadcast today, 402-515-7654. Bellevue fans and Carroll College fans, we invite you to send along your greetings today. Let me know who you are, where you are, who you're rooting for, any words of wisdom you want me to pass along on the broadcast. I'll give that number several times. But here's the first pitch. Down low, 1-0 for Unverzat. 402-515-7654. Looks like we've got some communication issues. And looks like Emmert's going to trade wristwatches with their third baseman, Taylor Sayers. Modern technology on the softball field. Most college teams now use the electronic means of communications instead of flashing signs from the dugout to the catcher, who then puts down fingers, relaying to the pitcher and middle infielders. Popped up into shallow center field, not quite to the outfield edge. However, second baseman Ella Seaman goes out to make the play, and there's one out. In game number 1, we saw a lot of ground balls. Here's thus far in game number 2, 3 of the 4 outs have been on pop-ups. Here's Bellevue catcher Marguerite Brown. Low and away, ball 1. Brown, the team leader in hits, 491 coming into today's action. 54 hits on the year. Brown did not get a hit, however, in game number 1. Only one Bellevue hit in that contest, but still a victory. Now 2-0. The one hit in game number 1, an RBI double by Savannah Short in the 1-0 Bellevue victory. Emmert looks in. Pretty good pitch there. Brown takes it. Now 2-1 to count. Doubleheader tomorrow as well between these two squads right back here. That changeup goes upstairs. What's the time for the doubleheader tomorrow? 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock Central Time for tomorrow's doubleheader. Hit on the ground and through. Marguerite Brown with the first hit of game number 2 for the Bruins, as she becomes the first base runner of this game. The 3-hole hitter for the Bruins, first baseman Brianne McMurtry. McMurtry scored the only run of game number 1 today. She reached on a walk to get on base and then scampered home on the short double. 1-0 the count. Inside, that gets away from the catcher. That'll allow Brown to get down to second on a pass ball. Bill Mullins, sports information guy, is our official scorer here. Filling in for Steve Fields, who also covers softball. Mick Krupski is my name. Doing the broadcast solo today. Thanks to Jake Janicek for being the play-by-play guy in game number 1. Jake also works at 1620 The Zone radio station. He's a producer there. Creighton basketball is one of the things they cover. They're playing tonight in Las Vegas. 2-1. McMurtry takes that pitch for a called strike 2. Bree, a graduate of Bellevue East High School, so she played right in the neighborhood. popped up right side. Who's going to take charge? Looks like the right fielder coming in will settle under and make the catch. That's Bryn Nuttbaum for the second out of the inning. No advance by Brown. She's at second with 2 away. And the batter is the cleanup hitter, left fielder Leslie Egan. Egan with 18 runs batted in on the season. That puts her in third place amongst Bruin batters. Again, ball gets away. The throw to third base, not in time. And a second pass ball getting away from catcher Talon Pullert. And now Marguerite Brown only 60 feet away. Egan awaits the next pitch. That one's hit to the right side, but into the glove of the second baseman, Ella Seaman. Seaman making a couple of putouts in the inning for the Bruins. In the bottom of the first inning, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 person left on base. 1 complete. We're still scoreless at the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Again, that text message number, 402-515-7654. Bellevue fans or Carroll fans, if you want to play along with me on this cloudy Thursday evening. It is Thursday, isn't it? All day, thank you, okay. All right, 1 in the queue. Let's go Bruins. Please remind Coach Cimino to bring home dinner after the game. Sign the softball coach's hungry husband. I'll try to pass that on to her, maybe in between innings, but not right now. I can hear your stomach growling all the way from here. Michaela in her 17th year leading the Bellevue University program. Quite the softball player as well in the day. Taken after her dad, Ed Lahotek, in terms of successful softball coaching careers. Top of the second inning, first baseman Sammy Labrum will lead things off, facing Bellevue pitcher Ellie Zuha. Gets the first pitch in the zone, strike 1. Labrum, a .370 hitter. Third on the team. Coming back toward home plate. Watch out. Labrum 1 for 3 in game number 1. Had a double her first time up. Fighting Saints stranded, I believe it was 6 runners left on base in game number 1. And we're shut out 1-0. Next pitch upstairs. 1-1 the count. Towing the rubber with that left foot. Zuha delivers a changeup. That one's popped out of play on top of the first base dugout. The rain we had today was very welcome. We've been in a semi-drought condition most of the winter. We got very little snow. Upstairs, which is usually a very good thing, but it's now the 3rd consecutive winter where we've had less than average snow. Usually we average about 25 to 30 inches of snow per year in the Bellevue, Omaha area. This year we had like an 18, I think was the total. That one up near the helmet of Labrum. Full count on the Saints, first baseman. Payoff pitch on its way. It's hit to center field. And it'll drop. One hopping up against the fence. Labrum on her way to second. Finally retrieved out there by Bruins center fielder Layla Fiskus, who couldn't get a glove on it. So it's a leadoff double. Second double of the day for Labrum. 1 in each game. Saints with a runner in scoring position. That'll bring up left fielder Brooke Thompson. Thompson took an 0 for 3 in game 1. Again, a pitch up tight. For Labrum, that's her 5th double of the year. Popped up, right side. Couple of players going after it. It'll be the right fielder, Mariah Unverzat, who'll call off the second baseman, Miranda Garcia. And there's now 1 out in the inning. Designated player, Carly Smith, the next batter. Smith was 0 for 2 in game 1. Upstairs on the first pitch from Ellie Zuha. Smith, a .302 average. Swings and misses at that pitch over the outer half, 1-1. Foul over the top of the backstop, 1-2. Coming into today's action, 36 doubles, 5 triples, and 7 home runs. Extra base hits for Carroll College. Popped up, foul territory, right side. McMurtry giving chase. Also Garcia giving chase. Neither one can get there. It falls into foul territory harmlessly. We'll redo it at 1-2. This is the 20th game of the year for the Fighting Saints. The Bruins, by contrast, this is their 32nd, so 12 more. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. Carly Smith goes down for the second out of the inning. Runner Labrum holds at second. The batter, second baseman, Ella Seaman. Seaman, a .229 year. 0 for 3, so that average goes down a little bit more. 1-0 the count. Field lights have already been turned on. Haven't had much of an impact quite yet. Hit in the air to right center field. Who's going to get there on the run? A nice play by the Bruins center fielder, Layla Fiskus, to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. We're still scoreless after an inning and a half. The Bellevue Bruins and the Carroll Fighting Saints. Both these schools part of the newly created Frontier Conference. Bellevue formerly members of the North Star Athletic Association, but when that folded, the Bruins and 4 of their other former NSAA compadres joined with newcomer Bismarck State and the 6 Montana schools already in the Frontier Conference. Now 12 schools, only 8 of them play softball, however. Valley City State and Providence on top of the Frontier with 6-2 records in league play. Bellevue and Dickinson State tied for 3rd with 6-4. The Bruins now 7-4. Mayville State 4-4. Carroll 3-5. Bismarck State 3-7. And Dakota State 2-8. With the win, Bellevue now 7-4 in conference. With the loss, Carroll now 3-6 in conference play. Bottom of the second for the Bruins, middle part of the order. 5-hole hitter Miranda Garcia will start it off. Miranda, the second baseman. Garcia had a sacrifice bunt that moved McMurtry into scoring position for Savannah's short RBI in the 1-0 Bellevue win. So an important part of that 1-run inning. First pitch, ball 1. Kat Emmert back to work for Carroll. Fastball there 1-1. Way up high on that. The Bruins with several road trips to start the season. Their longest one on the trip to Florida. The Bruins now 8-4 since returning from the Sunshine State. That one's a little flare to the left side. Shortstop Madison Walker makes an easy play of that for the first out of the inning. Here is the hitting star of Game 1 for the Bruins, number 7, third baseman, Savannah Short. Short awaits the first pitch from Kat Emmert. Fastball. A little bit up. Short at 5'5", not a big target up there. And that one on the knees, strike called, 1-1. Short came in today hitting .211, but had that big hit. Now .217, Bill informs me. Tardy on that swing, now 1-2. Something smells awfully good. That one's lined. One hop at second base. Nice play there by Ella Seaman. She's been active with the glove with a couple of putouts and now her first assist of the game. Shortstop Emma Chrisman steps in. Caitlin Fisher on the sick list today. Not available for either game today. Hopefully she gets better soon, but Emma's done a nice job filling in at that shortstop position. Ahead in the count, 1-0. Lined. And another nice play by Seaman. The second baseman takes a hit away from Chrisman. It's the Ella Seaman show on defense for Carroll College. 3 putouts now and 1 assist for their second sacker. 3 up, 3 down in the inning. 2 innings in the book. We're scoreless, 0-0. A low-scoring doubleheader thus far between the Saints and the Bruins. One more text in the queue. Kevin Brown, Marguerite's dad, says, hello, everyone. Wishing everyone well. Go Bruins. Watching in Chatham, Ontario, Canada. Kevin, thanks for texting in. Welcome to you. Hope you're enjoying the ball game. Not quite sure what weather you've got going on in Ontario today, but right here, temperature in the low 40s, cloudy and kind of breezy. But a pretty good crowd on hand today for this doubleheader action in the Frontier Conference. Thanks for joining us. Again, that number, 402-515-7654. Top of the third inning, it'll be the 8-9-1 part of the order for the Saints. Catcher Taylon Pullert will lead things off. Pullert was in the 2-hole in game number 1, but a couple of strikeouts has put her down into the 8-hole right now. Pullert a good year at the plate, 388 coming in. First pitch from Ellie Zuha upstairs. Line into left field, just over the glove of shortstop Emma Chrisman. And so the Saints get a leadoff hit from Taylon Pullert. Bottom of the order, center fielder Katie Slater. Expect her to be in a sacrifice mode here to advance the base runner. Slater, 364, fouls it at the plate. Off the chest protector of Brown. Shares a chuckle with Bree McMurtry. Bruins were successful in their sacrifice to score the run. And that was popped in the air. A nice jumping stab. It's going to turn into a double play. Savannah Short charging hard on the square. She'll get credit for the and the assist as her throw to first base retires Slater and double play. With 2 outs, top of the order, here's Brenda Nussbaum. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch swinging. That'll be an infield single as it goes off the glove of Garcia, trying to make the backhanded stab. Probably wouldn't have been able to throw out Nussbaum even if she would have fielded it. So second hit in the inning. Third hit of the game for the Fighting Saints. As shortstop Madison Walker next to bat. So that double play on the popped-up bunt looms big at this point. First pitch from Zuha is up high. Down low, 2-0. Fourth year in the Bellevue program for Ellie Zuha. She redshirted back in 2023. Played high school ball at Omaha Gross Catholic, where I coached and taught for many years. Another nice play by Savannah Short at third base, reaching out with that big glove to snag it and retire Madison Walker 5-3. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. Looking for run number 1 so far, the Bruins and the Fighting Saints of Carroll College. We'll throw out my trivia point here from game number 1 as well. Carroll College was originally named Mount St. Charles College. It was founded in 1909, was renamed Carroll College in 1925 in honor of Bishop John Carroll, who was the school's founder, who passed away that year. Bellevue University, founded in 1966. So a little bit younger than Carroll. A great year for the Bellevue Athletic Department with the opening of this outdoor athletic complex. Also a beautiful new field house on campus. Home to volleyball and basketball. A great weight room, some simulation rooms, training rooms, meeting rooms. Home of the Bellevue Hall of Fame. So the Bruins continuing to expand and improve their athletic facilities. Thanks to Dr. Mary Hawkins and all of her staff for making that possible. Bottom of the third inning, designated player Danny Rodriguez will start things off. Danny Ramirez, not Rodriguez. Sorry about that, Danny. First pitch from Kat Emmert on the knees for a called strike 1. Fouled out of play. Ramirez down 0-2. Hey, we got a text from one of the folks in the stands today. Robert Egan, the father of Leslie Egan and softball alum Maricela Egan. In town from Anaheim, California to enjoy our lovely weather. Once a Bruin, always a Bruin. Robert, glad you're here today. If you want to get warm for a bit, come on up to the press box. We've got the heater going full blast up here. Off-speed pitch, just misses outside. Catcher Taylin Pullert held it there an extra second for the home plate umpire to get a longer look. Umpires don't really like it when you do that, but pitch just off the outside edge to go to 2-2. Lined. Fair ball just inside the line over the first base bag, and the Bruins have the leadoff person on the single by Danny Ramirez. First time the Bruins have had the leading lady on in this game. And now center fielder Layla Fiskus will step in. Fiskus was the center fielder in game number 1. She was the flex player, so she did not bat. Let's see if she's sacrificing. Turns, puts it down perfectly up the first base line. And the out is recorded, but a successful sacrifice bunt. 3-4 on the play. Sayers to Seaman. So another put out for Seaman. Back to the top of the order for the Bruins with Danny Ramirez in scoring position. The batter is right fielder Mariah Unverzat. Foul against the screen, strike one. Center fielder Katie Slater shading Unverzat opposite way. Now she's going to change and go to the pull side. Pitch up and away. Seen that several times today where the outfielders adjust on every pitch. That can be a giveaway whether something fastball or off speed is upcoming. Expect a fastball here as they shade late. There it was. And Unverzat a little bit behind. Now 1-2. And now straight away. So we don't know what's coming. Whatever it is, here it is. Popped up near the first base dugout, but out of play. Sammy Labrum all the way to the fence. One of her teammates trying to make the catch in the dugout. And now she's being given a hard time by her teammates as she dropped the ball. Can't quite see that far on our video feed. We have a one-camera setup. Future plans are to include a multi-camera setup. That won't happen this year, but maybe next year. We'll get you a couple of views of the action. Who knows, yeah. Again, foul out of play right side as Unverzat stays alive. Thanks once again to the crew working behind the scenes to get us on the air. Again, staying alive onto one of the old Little League fields that used to be part of this complex. There's one or two of the old fields that got submerged in the floods of 2019. They're in awful shape. Future plans are to renovate them as well. Hey, guess what? The 8th or 9th pitch of the at-bat as Mariah Unverzat battling against Kat Emmert. Emmert with 37 pitches through 2 1/3. That one, nice save by the catcher Pullert to corral that one. The count goes full. Oops, excuse me, 2-2. Another foul ball opposite way out of play. And we need some more softballs to continue playing. And one comes in from the Bellevue bench, and we can continue the game. Yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 of them over here off the right side. Oh, and somebody's got to walk through the mud to get them. 2-2 the count. Danny Ramirez, the runner at second. Changeup, hit on the ground. That'll go to second base. Backhanded stab there. The throw to first is not in time. Good hustle by Mariah Unverzat to beat out that infield hit. Another nice play by Ella Seaman at second. Her backhanded stab, but the throw just not quite in time. So the Bruins have runners at the corners with one away for catcher Marguerite Brown. Again, hi to her family listening in up in Ontario. Infield playing in to try to cut down the run at the plate. Fastball in the zone, strike one called. Bellevue has 8 or 9 Canadian players on the baseball team. Brown, the only player from north of the border on the softball squad. That one's hit well to left field. That should be deep enough to score a run on the sacrifice. Here comes the tag from Ramirez. The throw is home. Now the trailing runner going to second base, and the throw there is not in time. Marguerite Brown with the sacrifice fly to left field scores Danny Ramirez, and the Bruins lead it by a score of 1-0. Mariah Unverzat takes second on the throw to the plate. For Marguerite, that is her 26th run batted in of the year. Second on the team behind McMurtry with 29. Here is Bree McMurtry, and she'll lace one into center field. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's not in time as Mariah Unverzat scores from second to give the Bruins a 2-0 lead on the RBI single by Bree McMurtry, who now goes over to the 30 runs batted in on the year. Fourth hit of the game for Bellevue. Third hit of the inning. Bruins only scored 1 run in the first 7. They've got 2 on the board now through the first 3, and they're still batting for Leslie Egan. And again, hi to her dad. A lot of winter coats, stocking caps, blankets on hand here today. That one's lined, but at the second baseman. And again, Ella Seaman will make the play. This time it'll retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. 3 innings complete. The Bellevue Bruins 3. The Carroll College Fighting Saints nothing. 2 runs on 4 hits for Bellevue. No runs on 3 hits for Carroll College. One more text in the queue. Go Bruins. It's great to be able to watch these games. Grandpa and Grandma Fiscus listening in Holyoke, Colorado. Glad you guys are joining us from the Centennial State, Colorado. Is Holyoke up in the Rockies, or is that part of the eastern part of the states? Lots of folks here in the press box dreaming of Colorado and California and any place that's warmer than 40 degrees with a northwest wind. But the young ladies on the field making the best of it. Second game of this 4-game set. First time these two schools have ever met in softball. Top of the 4th inning, it'll be Taylor Sayers, the third baseman. First pitch swinging, pops it up to the right side, and that's going to drop. Miranda Garcia looked it in, then the wind may have taken a little bit. It's going to drop as Sayers becomes the leadoff batter. Yep. So Sayers reaches on the air. First air of the doubleheader today. Another one hit to the right side. This time Bree McMurtry trying to get there. Garcia also running over there. It'll drop in foul territory. Two pitches, 2 swings, 2 pop-ups, 2 not caught, 1 landing in fair, 1 and foul. The sacrifice bunt up the first base side. McMurtry over to Garcia. Nice pick on a throw in the dirt. Sacrifice successful for Sammy Labrum. 3-4 on the play. Sayers advancing to second. And that'll bring up left fielder Brooke Thompson. Starting to see a little bit of the lights take effect now on the field. Brand new LED lighting. Ball 1 on the first pitch from Zuha to Thompson. Brooke flew out to right field her first time up today. A little bit outside there. Now 2-0. Chopper. Savannah Short fields it in fair territory. Strong throw across the diamond. Retires Thompson. 5-3 on that play. On the throw, Sayers advancing to third. Well, good defense by Short on the short hop to her. Designated player Carly Smith will step up. A strikeout victim her first time up. Thus far, Zuha has struck out 2 on the game. Again, a first pitch swing over the top of the backstop and out of play. Zuha reaches down to the rosin bag. Now she's back to the rubber and ready to get back to work. Upstairs, 1-1 on Carly Smith. Smith from Blackfoot, Idaho. Pushed back off the plate on the inside pitch. 2-1. I'm assuming that's by Blackfoot Lake, just south of Glacier National Park. Foul back to the net. Count evens up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Bruins lead it 2-0. You're on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. It's not a real thing. I just made it up 18 years ago. Low and away. Full count. Sounds good, though. Payoff pitch upcoming. Zuha looks in and delivers. Line foul up the left field side. First time these two schools met, Bellevue coach Michaela Samino brought cards and cookies to coach Shauna Juarez for the Carroll squad. Swing and a miss. Chased the high fastball. Zuha climbs the ladder on Smith and gets her to go. No runs on no hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. Carroll gets another runner in scoring position, but can't cash it in. They've gone now 11 innings without scoring a run in this doubleheader. The Bruins up 2-0. Here's that text message number once again. We've heard from 3 or 4 folks so far. 402-515-7654. Let me know who you are, where you are. Any words you want to pass along to help improve this broadcast. Simon Falcon, the PA voice this evening at the new Renner Dentist Complex. You'll hear his voice in the background of the broadcast from time to time. Simon's been around Bellevue for a long time doing PA work. 10 years, is that maybe? He's all right, not quite 10 years. We'll go with 5. That works. All right, here we go. Bottom of the fourth inning for the home team. Bruins in their white and black uniform ensemble today. The Saints in purple and gold. Both these two schools share that purple and gold color scheme. Here's Miranda Garcia. First pitch from Kat Emmert is low. Bounce to home plate. That one's hit in the air to left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Garcia rounds first. She'll hold there. Her single to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. For the second consecutive inning, the Bruins get the leading lady on the bags. This time it'll be third baseman Savannah Short stepping in for a potential sacrifice. Short grounded out her first time up. RBI single, the only run of game one. Swinging on the first pitch fastball from Emmert, fouled out of play. Softball batters boxes are 1 inch less wide than a baseball batter's box. 1 foot. Did I say inch? Oops. 1 foot short, 1 foot thinner than a baseball batter's box. That's why they pay you the big bucks, Bill. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2-1. The next pitch will be the 50th of the game for Kat Emmert. Off the front leg of the pitcher. That's going to leave a mark. It also robs Savannah Short of a base hit. 1-3 on the play. Advancing to second is Miranda Garcia. Looks like Emmert's going to be okay. Got her somewhere on the lower leg. Those kind of comebackers make you have a second thought about being a pitcher. Emmert looks okay. And now stepping in, shortstop Emma Chrisman. Chrisman lined out her first time up today. Fouled back. Credit catcher Talon Puller with a rebound there. Okay, this is not basketball, so we won't do that. Off the screen once again, now 0-2. Chrisman, another Bellevue kid. Bellevue West, her alma mater, takes that pitch low and away, now 1-2. Flared over the top of the dugout and out of play, first base side. Chrisman from Bellevue West, McMurtry from Bellevue East. Here's the 1-2. Now 2-2. Couple of players from the Millard Public School District, the La Vista Public School District. Swing and a miss. Chased after a high fastball. The strikeout is the first of the game for Kat Emmert. Here's designated player Danny Ramirez. Bruins with 5 hits on the game, hoping for another one here to plate another run. That pitch on the outside edge of the plate, strike one called. Danny singled and scored her first time up. Came home on the hit by Marguerite Brown. Excuse me, the sacrifice fly by Marguerite Brown. Down low. 1-1. Outside, 2-1. That single, her last time up, her 10th hit on the season in 25 at-bats. Lays off that high fastball. Hitters count now for her, 3-1. Strike on the swing. Right down the heart of the plate. That'll run it to a full count. Miranda Garcia, the runner at second. Danny Ramirez, the hitter at the plate for the Bruins. Payoff pitch. That one's lined to center field. Going to drop for a base hit. Here comes Garcia around third. And Danny Ramirez delivers the 2-out RBI single to make it a 3-0 score. Nice piece of hitting. Turning that fastball around. Nice level swing on the bat. Center fielder, Layla Fiskus. Emmert delivers. Just outside, ball one. Layla from Papillion, grandparents from Colorado. Strike called on the outer half, 1-1. Layla wearing that number 1 jersey for the Bruins. A bullet down the left field line. That's just inside the base. Nice job of turning on that pitch. Back-to-back singles for the Bruins. Ramirez and Fiskus put runners at first and second for 2 away. And the top of the order, here's Mariah Unverzant. Mariah with a single and a run scored her last time up. Bruins trying to add on to their 3-0 lead. First time we've seen that plane coming in for a landing tonight. Fastball upstairs. If you weren't with us for game number 1, new complex is located about a quarter mile from Offutt Air Force Base in Bellevue, home of Stratcom, one of the most important Air Force bases in the country. Swing and a miss on the fastball. We see multiple landings or takeoffs in almost every game that we have played at the new facility. The Renner Dennis Outdoor Athletics Complex. Foul back. 1-2. The new video board at the complex out in left center field gives us a chance to see a photo of the player at bat, some other biographical information as well, in addition to the normal baseball stats. Again, a foul ball. Almost 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Game number 2 of this doubleheader, game number 2 of the 4-game set. way wide on that one. 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning, 2 base runners on. Bellevue scored 2 in the third, 1 here in the fourth. Trying to add more, trying to put up a crooked number. Flare down the right field side, 3 players giving chase. It'll land in between them in foul territory, so the runners will return. Mariah will return to the batter's box, and we'll do it all over again. 2-2. Mariah started her college career at Johnson County Community College for a year after graduating from Papillion La Vista South. That pitch on the outside edge, perfectly placed to strike out. The second of the inning, second of the game for pitcher Kat Emmerts. The Bruins pick up 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. 4 innings in the book in this scheduled 7-inning contest. The Bellevue Bruins 3 and the Carroll County Fighting Saints nothing. Ellie Zuha back to the circle for the Bruins. She's thrown a 3-hit shutout to this point. Has struck out 3 as well. As she will face second baseman Ella Seaman to start things off in the top of the 5th. Seaman a pop-up to center field, her first time up. First pitch outside. 46 degrees, so the temperature has remained steady throughout most of this doubleheader. Popped out against the screen. Good catch. Marguerite on the rebound. 1-1 the count. Wind out of the northwest, however, makes it feel closer to 40 degrees. Tomorrow we're expecting a high of 50 under cloudy skies. That'll continue. A little bit warmer tomorrow. A chance of more rain. So hopefully we can get the doubleheader in. 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock the starting time for tomorrow's doubleheader. 2-1 the count. That pitch comes across the inner half, evens the count at 2-2. Just misses the inside part of the plate. Full count on Ella Seaman leading off the top of the 5th inning. Chopper, Zuha fields her position and quickly over to first base. 1-3 on the play, 1 out in the inning. Nice job on the comebacker by Zuha. Catcher Taylon Pullert next up. She singled her first at-bat in the 3rd inning. Pullert among the leaders in batting average. That one's lined hard. Garcia able to get the tip of her glove on it to kind of knock it down, but it falls out in the right field. So second single of the game for the Saints catcher. They won't courtesy run for her. She'll stay in the game. And the batter will be center fielder Katie Slater. Low and in. Slater, the 9-hole hitter, top of the order on deck. Off her front foot, that's going to sting a little bit. Might have gotten her right on the ankle. She'll need a few seconds to walk that one off. Coach Shauna Juarez comes over to fist bump with her center fielder. Yeah, pointing right down there by the ankle bone. That's the worst place you want to get hit. It stings a lot on the top of your foot, but man, right on that ankle bone. That'll send you running for an ice bag and a couple of aspirin. But not right now, as Slater continues with the at-bat, 1-1. On the ground, second base, over to second for one, to first, not in time. Bruin middle infielders Garcia and Grissman on the play to retire Pullard at second, 4-6. Slater reaching on the fielder's choice. And the batter will be the top of the order, right fielder Bryn Nuttbaum. Strike one called by the home plate umpire. Again, a very deliberate call by the home plate umpire. They take their time. Line just over Chrisman's head in the left field. A base hit for Nuttbaum. That's her second of the game. No runners at first and second now with two away. The batter, the shortstop, Madison Walker. Emma Chrisman just a couple inches short of getting up to that one. Little flare off the top of the bat. Walker, 0 for 2. First pitch fastball, outside edge, strike one called. Walker was 1 for 3 in game one, 0 for 2 here, but that's going to change as he dumps that one out into right center field. One run will score. Here comes the second around third base. Throw to the plate. Not in time. The first runs of the afternoon come off the bat of Madison Walker. 2 RBI double to right center field. Scores Slater and Nuttbaum. Now the Saints have a little something to cheer about as they've closed it to a 3-2 score. Michaela Cimino will head out to the mound to talk with Ellie Zuha and her teammates. And it looks like we may have a pitching change as Ellie is taking off the watch band that so the new Bellevue pitcher will be number 14, Lindsay Dressman. Here's a little info about Lindsay. 2 wins and no losses on the year. This is her 11th appearance. 5 as a starter, now 6 as a reliever. A 3.59 earned run average in 25 1/3 innings of work. Dressman has allowed 29 hits, has struck out 20, and walked 12. Coming in here in relief of starter Ellie Zuha. Dressman, a freshman out of Maryville, Kansas. She'll be facing the 3-hole hitter, Taylor Sayers. First pitch fastball, low and in. Sayers reached on an error her last time up. Now a timeout. We may have a pinch runner at second. Madison Walker is the runner at second after delivering that 2 RBI double. Some of the players scrambling around in the dugout there and grabbing a helmet, heading out onto the field of play comes number 14, Riley Simone will come on as the pinch runner at second base. Riley Simone. Simone comes on. We saw her in game number 1 as well as a pinch runner. Pitch in the zone, strike 1, 1-1. Simone, a sophomore from Cody, Wyoming. That pitch just off the outside edge, 2-1. Popped up right side. McMurtry giving chase in foul territory. It clanks off her glove and lands in foul territory. That'll move the count to 2-2. Bree covered some territory to get that one, but just couldn't get it squarely in that big first baseman's mitt. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Foul back to the net. Count remains 2-2. Another foul ball. Popped up on the infield. Chrisman going back, Garcia going back, and it falls between them. And that'll tie the score at 3-3 as Riley Simone comes around to score. That'll be ruled a base hit, a little communication mishap between the middle infielders and center fielder. So an RBI for Taylor Sayers and a base hit. Now 3-3 our score as Sammy Labrum steps in. So Ellie Zuha cannot win this game, nor can she lose it. Lindsey Dressman now the pitcher of record for the Bruins. Fouled out of play. For Sayers, that is her 6th run batted in of the season. Up and away. Again upstairs on that. 3-1 count on the Saints' first baseman, Sammy Labrum. That one's in the zone, fouled against the net. Full count. The runner will be going as soon as the ball leaves the hand of Bellevue pitcher Lindsey Dressman. Ground ball out would have to be recorded at first. Pitch on its way, ground ball to short. Across the diamond, right on the money. On the throw from Emma Chrisman, and the side is retired. 3 runs in the inning. On 3 hits, there was 1 error and 1 left on base. After 4.5, the Bruins 3 and the Fighting Saints 3. Tied game as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Shortstop Madison Walker will re-enter the game for Carroll College. I think that's the third. I think that's the infielder just picked up the ball for her. We thought we were going to have a pitching change, but we won't. It was just Thompson on her way back out to the outfield, picked up the ball and handed it over to Kat Emmert, who'll continue on for now her 6th inning of work. Emmert has thrown 72 pitches to this point. Marguerite Brown will lead things off for the Bruins. The 2, 3, 4 spots in the orders. The Bruins try to get back up on top. Bellevue won the opener in the first meeting between these two schools in softball, 1-0. All right, here's Marguerite. Brown a single her first time up, and then a sacrifice fly RBI her second plate appearance. Leading it off in the bottom of the 5th. Low and away. One final time, I'll give out that text number if you're still thinking about sending along a greeting. It's 402 515 7654. You're listening to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Softball action coming your way. Now 2-0. Brown started her college career at Kankakee Community College. Ahead in the count now 3-0. She will most likely be taking a pitch here. New life for pitcher Kat Emmert. Trailed 3-0 at the start of this inning, but her teammates provided her with 3 runs of support to tie it. Right down the heart of the plate for a strike called. Now 3-1. Now expect Brown to come out of her shoes on a swing that she likes on a pitch here. Otherwise, she'll happily take first base with a walk. And a pitch clock violation will send Marguerite Brown to first base. So again, the Bruins get the leadoff person on base. That's the 3rd inning in a row they've accomplished that. Oh, illegal pitch clock violation. Here's Bree McMurtry. RBI single her last time up. That one's hit to the right side. And a nice catch on the run out there by the right fielder, Bryn Nuttbaum. Brown will have to backtrack to first base now with 1 away. Here's the Bruins cleanup hitter, left fielder Leslie Egan. Her dad, Robert, here at the park today. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Marcella Egan, also a former Bellevue softball player. On the outside, Black. Oh, 0-2 the count as the Bruins trying to get back on top. Brown at first. Egan fouls it back. Again, the foul straight back. That's usually a sign that the batter is right on the pitch, just a little bit underneath it. Leslie back in. 0 for 2 in this game. Changeup stays low. Blocked up by the catcher, Pullert. Here's the 2-2. Hit in the air to the right side. Right fielder coming on, and this time, another great catch. Bryn Nutbaum. Back-to-back catches, one running to the side, one coming in. Robs Leslie Egan of the hit. Or they're going to say she trapped it, so Egan is the runner at first as McMurtry or Marguerite Brown is retired on the throw to second base. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to second baseman Miranda Garcia. Oh, I apologize. Marguerite Brown still the runner at first. Quick check to the numbers here. Ponytail in the way. So it was a solid catch by the right fielder. That pitch again on the outside black. Kat Emmert has been very successful hitting that part of the plate over the last couple of Bruin batters. Garcia 1 for 2. Foul ball over the first base dugout and out of play. Swing and a miss. The strikeout retires the side. The Bruins get the leadoff player on, but can't advance Brown anywhere past first base. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left on base. As we head to the sixth inning of this scheduled 7-inning contest, we're tied at 3. Field lights taking more and more effect as the game moves on. There's always that 10 to 15 minute spot before the lights really take full effect when the visibility is a little bit more difficult, kind of in that twilight time. All right, quick sip to wet my whistle as we get ready for the top of the sixth inning. 5-hole hitter Brooke Thompson will lead things off for the Saints. Carroll College 8-11 overall, 3-6 in conference play coming into this one. The Bellevue Bruins 17-15 and 7-4. Thompson 0 for 2. Tries to check her swing, but she can't. Strike one. Thompson out of Billings, Montana. Up the middle and through. Thompson start things off with the 3-hopper through the middle of the infield. So the Saints, after scoring 3 runs last inning, get the leadoff guy on here for designated player Carly Smith. Smith has struck out in both of her plate appearances in this game. $1 to a donut she'll be asked to sacrifice here. Instead, swinging away. Caught me by surprise. Fouled off the screen, 0-1 the count. Now she shows bunt. Pulls back as pitch goes low. Runner going to second base. And in time. Catcher Marguerite Brown with a 1-hop throw to Emma Chrisman covering. And Brooke Thompson is retired 2-6 for the first out of the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to count now on Smith. On the inner half, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul out of play. Is it just me, or have we seen an inordinate number of foul balls tonight? Here's the next pitch from Dressman. Again, a foul ball out of play, just to prove my point. We all agree up here. Yeah, there's a lot of foul balls tonight. One and two the count on Smith. Lindsey Dressman delivers. Hit up the first base line. Bree McMurtry fields it and steps on the base. Now 2 away. Second baseman Ella Seaman. She was the defensive star earlier in this game, handling all kinds of chances. 0 for 2 at the plate, however. Up and away. Right-hander Lindsey Dressman on in relief of starter Ellie Zuha. Dressman will go to the rosin bag, tug at her sleeve. Now she's ready to get back to work. Rocks and delivers again upstairs. 2-0 to Seaman. That crackle all the way over here. Upstairs, 3-0. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the top of the 6th inning of this tie 3-3 contest. Strike called, now 3-1. Fouled back, the count goes full. Let's see if Dressman can come all the way back. Lindsey giving that rosin bag a lot of work. Drying off her fingers as she gets ready to deliver the payoff pitch. Change up, that one's going to be hit into right field and through for a base hit. The throw to first is not in time. So a base hit, her first of the day for Ella Seaman. She becomes a 2-out base runner as the catcher, Taylin Pullert, steps in. Pullert has singled in each of her 2 trips in this game. 2 completely different games at the plate for Taylin. She struck out twice her first game, has hit both times in this one. Strike called on the outside edge. Pullert hitting in the 8-hole in this game, but not your typical 8-hole hitter, as she's hitting 388 on the season. Lays off that high fastball. 1-1. There's a strike called on the outer half on the knees. 1-2. Fouled out of play. Count remains at 1-2. Upstairs, nice grab by Brown on that high pitch. 2-2 the count. Here's where Dressman wants to make it happen. She doesn't want to go to a full count. That'll give the base runner Seaman an opportunity to leave with the pitch. But that's where we will go. Full count. So Seaman will be able to go as soon as the ball leaves Dressman's hand. That'll force the infielders to play a ground ball to first in most likelihood. Pullard awaits. Pitch comes in. And it's ball 4. Runners at first and second with 2 out. The batter to the center fielder, Katie Slater. Slater 0 for 2. Foul out of play. Slater from Yamhill, Oregon. 5'5" senior. Chopped on the ground. Chrisman at short, over to first in plenty of time. 6-3 on the play. Emma Chrisman with another nice defensive play for the Bruins. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, the Bruins and the Fighting Saints are tied 3-3. Before the season starts, the Frontier Conference coaches have a preseason poll, and they projected Dickinson State Bluehawks to be the top team in conference this year, as we just now in the second week of regular season play. Dickinson State first, Bellevue Bruins to finish in the 2nd spot. The 3 spot to the Valley City State Vikings. 4th place to these Carroll College Fighting Saints. The 5th place, University of Providence Argos. 6th place, Mayville State Comets. 7th place, the Bismarck State Mystics. And the 8th place, Dakota State Trojans. So those are the prognostications of the softball coaches in the Frontier Conference for the final finish. 6, 7, 8 spots in the Bellevue order. Third baseman Savannah Short will start things off. Short with a game-winning run batted in game number 1. Would love to do the same thing here in game number 2 as we're tied 3-3. Quite the defensive star for the Bruins in this doubleheader. First pitch up and away. Savannah from Fort Osage, Missouri. Again up and away. Swing and a miss. That pitch breaking away from her. Now 2-1. Savannah played 2 years for Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Now in her 2nd year as a Bellevue Bruin. Foul back, 2-2. Kate Emmert has gone the distance for Carroll College in this one, now in her 6th inning. Over 90 pitches in the game for Emmert. Perfectly located over the outer half. Strikeout is the first out of the inning. 4 strikeouts, all of them coming in the last 2 1/3 innings. Oh, Emmert seems to be getting stronger as the game has gone on. Next up for the Bruins, the shortstop, Emma Chrisman. Outside, ball 1. Chrisman, 0-2. On the outside, Black, 1-1. Swing and a miss. One ball, two strikes on the Bruins shortstop. Lays off that pitch. Oh, they're going to say on the outside edge. Now 2 outs in the inning, back-to-back strikeouts for pitcher Kat Emmert. Here's designated player Danny Ramirez. Ball one. Emmert frequently falls behind, trying to hit that outside edge, but has fought her way back against almost every Bellevue hitter over the last couple of innings. Again, there's shooting for the outside corner. That time she gets it. 1-1 to count. Danny, a Millard North High School product. Line. Base hit for Danny Ramirez. Keeping the inning alive with 2 outs. Nice job of going the opposite way with that line drive through the hole between first and second. Here's center fielder Layla Fiskus. Layla 1 for 1, a sacrifice and a single. Down low, ball one. Shortstop Madison Walker backing up those return throws to the pitcher. Change up in the zone, 1-1. Now 2-1. We had almost an inch of rain overnight and earlier today, but the field in very good condition. Not slick at all. We haven't seen any impacts throughout today's doubleheader because of moisture. Popped up over the top of the backstop and out of play. Games tomorrow at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, right back here at the Renner Dennis Sports Complex. Down low. Looking at a full count here. That means Ramirez, the runner at first, will be off with the pitch. Should Fiskus reach? Mariah Unverzat. That one's hit well to left field, down the line. Left fielder giving chase. It's going to be a foul ball. Brooke Thompson went a long way to get that. Wound up about 185 feet or so down the line. Off the bat, it had some pretty good carry, but just turns out to be a foul ball. We'll do the 3-2 pitch all over again. For a second, Layla had us thinking maybe home run or extra bases. Here's the pitch again. Foul back. Ramirez retreats to first. Extra base hit, something in a gap could score the run, especially with Danny being off with the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Carroll fans wanted the call, but it was clearly off the edge of the plate. So Ramirez now in scoring position, a base hit could score her. The batter, right fielder, Mariah Unverzat. Mariah 1 for 3 today. First pitch fastball down low. Again, a trip to the rosin bag for Emmert. Now back on the rubber. Expect another fastball here as the outfield shading late. That fastball comes inside. Oh, excuse me, they're going to say on the inside corner. One and one the count. A late strike call from the home plate umpire. Down low, 2-1. Off the outside edge once again. Now 3-1. Unverzat hitting .387 on the year coming into today's action. Has the count in her favor. Looking for something to drive. That's going to go to the right side. Right fielder drops the ball. Nutbaum had a good break on it, but couldn't make the catch, and 2 runs will score. The Bruins on top by a score of 5-3. Waiting for Bill to decide if it's going to be a hit or an E9. Is that what that grinding sound is? Yeah. It'll be ruled a base hit for Mariah Unverzat. That will give her 2 runs batted in, and the Bruins with a 5-run lead. Here's Marguerite Brown trying to add one more for the Bruins. A strike called on the first pitch from Kat Emmert. Right fielder Bryn Nutbaum with a couple of really nice catches in this game. Again, having to go a long way to her glove hand side, but couldn't control it. Foul ball up the third base line. Brown down now 0-2. So we'll rule that a double, not a single, and an advance for Unverzat. For Mariah now, 19 runs batted in on the year. Way wide on that one. Brown does not chase. 1-2. Bruins led it 2-0, then 3-0. Then a 3 spot by Carroll tied it, and now 2 more for the Bruins here, a 5-3 lead. Brown goes opposite way to the left fielder, coming in and making the catch on a nice running play. Brooke Thompson gloves that one to retire the side. Bellevue scores 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. As we head to the top of the 7th inning, Bellevue 5 and Carroll College 3. Fighting Saints trying to find a way to get a runner on base to bring the tying run to the plate. Bruins trying to prevent that from happening. How's that for a statement of the obvious? Lindsey Dressman back to the circle for the Bruins. She's the pitcher of record for Bellevue. Kat Emmert, the pitcher of record. She's gone all the way for the Fighting Saints. Five runs on 9 hits for the Bellevue Bruins. 3 runs on 9 hits for the Carroll College Fighting Saints. How's the screen look with the lights in full effect now? Good? Top of the order in the top of the 7th. Here's right fielder Bryn Nuttbaum. First pitch from Lindsey Dressman is low, ball 1. Again, Nuttbaum coming also close to keeping the game tied, but couldn't quite squeeze it for the out. Nuttbaum with 2 hits, 2 out of 3, goes opposite way. Waiting for it out there is Bellevue left fielder Leslie Egan. 1 up, 1 down. Here's the shortstop, Madison Walker. Walker with the 2 RBI double that got the Saints on the board in the 5th inning. Taking a pitch low, ball 1. Chop foul. Past her head coach on the third base coaching box. The Fighting Saints split with Dickinson State last weekend in a 4-game set at their home field in Helena. That one's lined to right field. Unverzat goes back, can't make the catch. He gets over her head all the way to the fence. Throw into second base is not in time. A double by Madison Walker, her second double of the game, keeps the hopes alive for the Fighting Saints. The tying run comes to the plate in the person of third baseman Taylor Sayers. Sayers had an RBI single her last time up to plate the 3rd run. Runner at second doesn't mean much to the Bruins. They want to keep Sayers off the bases. Down low, 0-2. Or excuse me, 2-0. Up and in, now 3-0. Bruin fans hoping that Lindsey Dressman can come all the way back here. Down low, a 4-pitch walk puts the tying run at first base. And brings to the plate the cleanup hitter, first baseman Sammy Labrum. A visit in the circle for the Bellevue Bruins, a visit at home plate area for the Fighting Saints. From our vantage point, we can't see if anybody's warming up in the Bellevue bullpen or if this is Lindsey Dressman's game to finish. A vote of confidence from head coach Michaela Cimino as Dressman tries to battle her way through this predicament. 1 out, 2 runners on. Bruins with a 2-run lead. And the batter is Sammy Labrum. Labrum, a 1-for-2 game, including a sacrifice. Dressman looks in. Down low, ball 1. 5 consecutive balls. Fighting Saints dugouts chanting and dancing on the first base side. Foul ball out of play right side. Line to right field. Unverzat settles underneath it. She'll make the catch for the second out. Runner at second tags and advances to third. But again, that's a moot point as the Bruins lead by 2. Saints down to their last chance. Walker, the runner at third. Sayers, the runner at first. The batter, the left fielder, Brooke Thompson. Thompson 1 for 3 in this one. First pitch upstairs. We mentioned throughout this doubleheader, Thompson, the leading hitter for the Fighting Saints. 448 coming into today's action. Thompson runs batted in as well. Takes that pitch down the heart of the plate, 1-1. Looked like she was taking for a strike all the way. The most important runner is the runner at first. That's Taylor Sayers. She represents the tying run. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. It'll make it a 5-4 score. An RBI single for Brooke Thompson scores Madison Walker. And now the tying run at second is Taylor Sayers, and the winning run at first is Brooke Thompson. The batter, the designated player, Carly Smith. Smith is 0 for 3. Dressman delivers. Foul out of play, right side. Strike one. Game one, a tightly contested 1-0 game. Game number two, a tightly contested 5-4 game. Upstairs, 1-1. Lindsey Dressman in the circle for the Bruins. Looks in, gets the sign. Marguerite Brown, the catcher, awaits the pitch. That 2 is upstairs. Now 2-1. Pop foul over the backstop and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. 2 on, 2 outs. 5-4 our score. Again, Dressman looks in and delivers. Down low, so a full count. The runners will be able to go with the pitch. A base hit should easily score Sayers from second. An extra base hit could score Thompson from first. The Bruins obviously hoping that won't happen. And the pitch is low and in. The walk will load the bases. The tying run at third, the winning run at second. The batter, the second baseman, Ella Seaman. Seaman 1 for 3 today at the plate. First pitch swinging. Chrisman at short. Bobbles the ball, and now bobbles it again, and that's going to allow the go-ahead run to cross home plate. RBI single and then an E6. Emma Chrisman couldn't come up with the play going up the middle as Emma Seaman turned it around, and now 6-5 lead for the visiting Fighting Saints. Sayers scores, and then Thompson scores as well. Into the hole, left field, runner comes around third, the throw to the plate, not in time. One more on the board, an RBI single by Talon Pullert. Makes it a 7-5 score. A bang-bang play, just a split second too late at the plate. As the Saints batters have erupted for a 4 spot here at the top of the 7th inning. All of this with 2 outs. Here's Katie Slater. The pitch is outside, ball 1. Looking ahead to the Bruins half of the 7th inning, it'll be the 3, 4, 5 spot in the order. McMurtry, Egan, and Garcia. Off the outside edge, ball 2. Again, all this has happened with 2 outs. Now 3-0. Oh, a strike call there, 2-1. Again, I'm an old school guy. Make that call quickly. But that's not so much the case these days. Out of play, 2-2 the count. Pullert, the runner at second. Seaman, the runner at third. Slater at the plate. Bruins trying to prevent any further damage. Hit in the air to the left side. Egan coming on and will make the catch on the run. Leslie Egan on the play. Shuts down the inning, but all 9 Carroll College batters come to the plate. Four runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error and 2 left on base. As we head to the bottom of 7th inning, now it's the last chance for the Bruins, trailing 7-5. Double error, okay. So then Bellevue should have a total of 3 errors, or 2 errors or a double error?
2 errors on that play.
Okay. So the Fighting Saints bats come alive with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Taking advantage of some hits and a big error that could have closed out the inning. So now it's the Bruins bats. They need to put up a 2-spot or more. First baseman Bree McMurtry to start things off for the home team. McMurtry with a single and a run batted in. Back in the 3rd inning. Bellevue needs a base runner. First pitch from Kat Emmert is outside, ball 1. Emmert has trailed by 3, has trailed by 2, and now leads by 2. She could be the winning pitcher if he can shut things down in the 7th. Fouled up the left field side, past head coach Michaela Cimino. Emmert back to work. McMurtry, a swing and a miss on the high fastball. Now 1-2. Swing and a miss. Looked like a little breaking ball off the outside edge of the plate. The strikeout is the first out of the inning. Emmert struck out nobody through the first 3 innings. But over the last several innings, the last 3 1/3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6 strikeouts. Here's Leslie Egan, the left fielder, trying to keep hope alive for the Bruins. Down low, ball 1. Bruins looking for somebody to get on base to bring the tying run to the plate. Popped up on the infield in foul territory, but playable for the first baseman. Sammy Labrum makes the play, and the Bruins are down to their final out. Second baseman Miranda Garcia, the last hope for the Bruins. Again, the Saints scored all of their runs in the top of the 7th, all 4 of them with 2 outs. Bruins hope to rekindle some magic here. Garcia, swing and a miss. Fouled back, down 0-2. Savannah Short on deck. Should Garcia keep the inning alive? Count remains at 0-2 as that one is fouled back. Emmer checks her wristband and delivers. Way wide there. Pullert slides to her right side to make the catch. 1-2. That one's going to get out of play right side. Well, it's been a really exciting opening doubleheader as part of this first ever series between the Saints and the Bruins. Bounce to the plate, now 2-2. Garcia back in, awaiting the next offering from Emmert. Upstairs, full count. Walks as good as a hit. Every Little League coach you've ever had has said that to you at some point. It really applies here for the Bruins. Fouled. Miranda doing a nice job staying alive, fighting off pitches. The Los Lunas, New Mexico native awaits. Again, a pitch. Line hard in the left field for the base hit. Miranda Garcia comes through for the Bruins to keep the inning alive. That'll bring the tying run to the plate in the person of third baseman Savannah Short. Short does not have a home run this year. Well, we can always be hopeful. Swing and a miss on the first fastball from Kat Emmert. Emma Chrisman on deck for the Bruins. Should Short reach. Again, going after that outside pitch. Can't quite reach it. 0-2. Again, the Bruins down to their final strike. To the screen, that's going to allow the runner Garcia to advance to second. But just as with Carroll College in the last half inning, that runner at second, not quite as important as a run at the plate. 1-2 for Short. Again, foul ball over the top of the backstop. And again, we're out of softballs. Scurrying around in the dugout to find a game ball. Now there's one in play and one in the umpire's pouch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner at second. Short, the big hit in game number 1, looking for another big hit here in game number 2. Popped up, will it stay in play? Catcher and first baseman going for it, and it'll bounce off the catcher's glove. Talon Pullert, about 3 feet away from the backstop, couldn't pull that one in. Hit off the heel of the catcher's mitt. So new life for Savannah Short. Let's see if she can make it hurt. E2 on that play, laying off that pitch up and away. 2-2 the count. First error of the doubleheader for the Fighting Saints. Here's the 2-2 offering. Emmert, the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss on that pitch off the outside edge. And with a 4-run top of the 7th inning, the Fighting Saints of Carroll College come back to win the second game of the doubleheader by a score of 7-5. 7 runs on 12 hits and 1 error for the Fighting Saints. 5 runs on 10 hits and 3 errors for the Bellevue Bruins. With the victory, the Carroll College Saints are now 9-11 overall, 4-6 in the Frontier Conference. The Bellevue Bruins dropped to 17-16 and 7-5 in Frontier Conference play. More action is part of the 4-game series tomorrow afternoon, right back here at the Renner Dennis Outdoor Athletic Facility. 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, the scheduled starting time for those 2 games. Jake Janicek will be back here to bring those games to you. For now, Mick Krupski signing off for tonight on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Enjoy the rest of your evening.